The medbay lights dimmed as the alien doctors filed out, masks of professional detachment hiding their failure. "She's too far gone," one of them muttered. "Tissue rejection, neural decay, she's not worth the resources." The girl on the table didn't move. Her skin, a soft lavender shade, was pale and bruised. Thin gills fluttered weakly along her neck, and her eyes, once a vibrant rose gold, stared blankly at the ceiling. She was barely 16 cycles old. Her species, the Nyari, were known for their regenerative ability, but something had gone terribly wrong. They left her in the recovery ward, not to heal, but to die quietly. That was when Thomas arrived. Thomas Reed wasn't a doctor. He wasn't even supposed to be on this station. A cargo hauler captain turned freelance technician, he'd been hired to recalibrate a faulty environmental stabilizer on Level C. But one wrong turn led him to the quiet wing of the med center, and the moment that changed everything. He saw her through the glass, tiny, skeletal, with translucent fins trembling at her wrists. The monitors blinked slowly, too slowly. A janitor nearby whispered, "They gave up on that one. Said her DNA's rejecting medical nanits. Gonna let her slip." Thomas stared. "They're letting her die." Ain't no next of kin. Some lab experiment gone wrong, I hear." He didn't know why he walked in. Maybe it was the way her fingers were curled, like she was still fighting. Maybe it was the ghost of his little sister's face in hers, his sister who'd died alone, too, while doctors whispered hopelessly just outside the curtain. He approached the bed slowly. Her eyes fluttered. "You're awake," he said gently. She blinked once. Her mouth didn't move. "I'm Thomas," he added. "You got a name?" Her lips trembled, barely forming sound. "Kaeli." Getting her out wasn't easy. But bureaucracy is blind to quiet persistence. Thomas faked a discharge order, borrowed a medical pod, and wheeled her out like he was delivering a package. He didn't take her to another med center. He took her to an old friend, Dr. Amelia Grant, a retired veterinary xenologist who now lived on a quiet orbital farm moon. When Amelia saw the Nyari girl, she frowned. "Tom, this is illegal. She'll die otherwise." Amelia examined Kaeli for hours, her sharp eyes noting every cellular detail, her tools older than the station's tech but built for results, not rules. "Their nanits were wrong," Amelia finally said. "They were trying to force her regeneration instead of listening to her biology. Idiots." She injected something amber-colored into Kaeli's veins. And within hours, the trembling slowed. Her breathing deepened. Within days, color returned to her cheeks. Thomas stayed. He helped feed the animals, cleaned the pens, and repaired the drone systems while Amelia treated Kaeli. The girl was still quiet, still weak, but she started to sit up, then eat on her own, then speak in whispers. One day, Thomas found her sitting by the fence, watching the wind ripple through the grass. "They were going to let me die," she said softly. "I know. They said I wasn't worth it. That I was a mistake." He sat beside her. "You're not." She turned to him. "Why did you save me?" He hesitated, then answered, "Because you looked like someone who wanted to live." Her rose-gold eyes glistened. Kaeli's healing wasn't just physical. With each passing week, she learned more about the world Amelia had built. How to care for wounded grazers, how to speak with the humming trico birds, how to fly a skiff. Her smiles became more frequent. Her shoulders less hunched. Thomas built her a workshop beside the barn, filled with scraps and tools. Kaeli took to it immediately. She created jewelry from wiring, wove nets from discarded synthetics, and once even repaired a broken leg brace for a three-legged varnhound. "She's a natural," Amelia said one evening. "Brilliant." They called her broken, but she's more adaptable than they ever gave her credit for. Thomas nodded, pride swelling in his chest. But peace never lasts. One day, a ship arrived, sleek, grey, corporate. The kind that came with contracts and cold intentions. A man in a medical uniform approached the homestead, flanked by 2 guards. "We're here for specimen Nyari 57, he said. "She was taken without authorization. Return her, and no charges will be filed." Kaeli was behind the barn, frozen. Her hand tightened around the fence. Thomas stepped forward. "She's not property." "She's under contract," the man replied. "She was grown in our labs. Our investment." "She's a child," Thomas snapped. The man's smile was surgical. "Children don't have legal standing outside citizenship. She's experimental biomass." Before Thomas could reply, Kaeli stepped forward. "No," she said. The man blinked. "Excuse me." "I'm not going with you," she said. "I'm not your project anymore. You don't have rights." Thomas stepped in front of her. "You heard her." The guards raised their weapons. But Amelia, standing on the porch with a crossbow of all things, didn't flinch. "You'll need to get through us," she said. "And I still know how to hit a heart, even corporate ones." Faced with unregistered resistance and no legal loophole to exploit, the officials left. But the message was clear. They'd be back, with more lawyers. Maybe worse. That night, Kaeli sat by the fire with Thomas. "Do I have to run forever?" she asked. "No," he said. "We'll find a place they can't touch. Somewhere they don't own." She looked at him for a long moment. "You never asked for anything," she said. "Why?" He hesitated. "Because I know what it's like to be left behind." She took his hand. "You didn't leave me." Months passed. They relocated to an independent moon, beyond corporate jurisdiction. Amelia stayed behind, guarding the homestead, but promised to visit. Kaeli began teaching engineering to local settlers. She built filtration systems, hovercraft parts, even custom limb supports for injured miners. Word spread of the miracle Nyari girl who could fix anything. Thomas, ever humble, worked beside her. She laughed more. He did too. One evening, on the edge of a bluegrass cliff, she turned to him and said, "You didn't just heal my body, Thomas. You gave me a heart." He smiled. "You always had one. I just helped you find it again." And she kissed him, soft, tentative, warm. No longer a specimen. No longer abandoned. Kaeli was alive. Loved. Free.